hospital. Okay, that's interesting. Um, Whenever it said something about a somewhat threatening spirit, it's been a she that it's been referring to, right?
We can whisper.
You can whisper. Yeah, you can whisper if you want, spirit. Whisper into one of the devices I've got over on this side of the room. I've got one with the two little red lights over there. You can whisper into that device. You can also whisper into the device by the door over here. But yeah, but as I was saying, like, it's always been like a she, which has sounded somewhat threatening. So for me to then be like, not only that, oh, what, the next name, who is it, kind of thing, and it, because I already have speculated, no, maybe it was saying about maybe Mavis is the threatening one. It was saying, oh, Mavis is here, she doesn't like you, but it's accidentally said he. But then the next name is again a female with Harriet. So I don't know if Harriet is the infant, and I don't know if Harriet is possibly the one that doesn't like me. Because again, with the she's here, is that Gertrude that's here? Is that Mavis that's here? It's giving me three names: Gertrude, Mavis, and Harriet, all very different. So it's not like it's tried to repeat one of those names to clarify, look, this is the one that's here, but then misspelt it. And again, with it saying whisper twice, with whisper and we can whisper, but then the we implies that there are multiple spirits here. And again, it's implying that there is an adult spirit and a child spirit, because it said about children earlier, it said infant, so that means that there probably is a child, and there probably is an adult.
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, that's an old name, very biblical old name there. Never has said that before on this app. Like I said, it said Elijah, Jesus, it has said religious things before, but Ezekiel, no. And that's an angel, if I am not mistaken. Could just be someone with the name Ezekiel, but that's an old biblical name. Which, whenever it says anything regarding angels, I'm always wary. And with it having an increase of saying about demons and things, I'm like, is there something pretending?
Manifesting.
Manifesting. Interesting word to say after I've just said, is it something pretending? And be like, no, it's manifesting. I'm just like, okay. Okay then. Again, it's one of those where like I could be projecting onto it as such, or like looking for things that aren't there, and that these could just be random words, and I'm like, oh, but that connects to that, that connects to that, that connects to that, when they might not be. But it's not quite as direct as it was the other day, but it still seems like it's getting there.
Dead
Is
don't rest.
dead don't rest? Again, with me saying about communication and things, it's then be like, oh no, look, we are here, the dead don't rest. Potentially. And that's actually very, very, very interesting regarding a conversation I was having earlier with my mum. Because we were watching a new program, I can't remember what the program's called, um, but it was a new program where there was someone interviewing someone about paranormal experience, and they were looking into the experience and talking to skeptics and trying to debunk it and trying to figure out things about it. And there was a point where one of the skeptics had said, or I think they were parapsychologists, they said that even the most hardened skeptics, when it comes to graves and things, will be like, no, you can't dig up bodies and you can't do any of that. You need to let the dead rest, which implies that that there is still something there in regards to that person being alive in some capacity, and you having this innate feeling of no, we need to leave them be. And it's like, if it's just a body, why is that an issue? And skeptics just kind of can't answer that, or just so I can't hear next door. I just heard next door there. Just for if I'm watching back footage and suddenly hear a female voice trip. Again, is it meaning trip as in kind of like a trip down memory lane? But again, that is really reaching. Because as I'm remembering things, But yeah, so it's just interesting that it said dead don't rest, because it reminded me of that conversation I had with my mum earlier, where it was like, where I was discussing what the parapsychologist had said, and my mum was saying, oh no, but it was meaning like they rested, and that was their last wishes. They want to be just kind of laid to rest, like literally left there, and left intact and things. And I was like, well no, because the word rest, it means to rest. It is a verb. So, so that's interesting that it said that don't rest, because that it doesn't play into anything I've said now particularly, but it does play into a conversation I had earlier on with my mum. But again, could just be me projecting onto that, and just and making connections where there potentially are none.
Down.
Down. That's a vague word. You could be meaning down as in below. Patience. And that was as in, relating to the hospital. Ooh, that could be interesting. Because that could relate to one of the dolls, if my memory serves me right.
Kiss.
Kiss? And again, even hospital could relate to one of the dolls, potentially. And you know what? I don't know if Harriet is the name of one of the dolls. I don't think it is. From memory, of the dolls' names, which it's been ages since I've looked into it, William and Marie, I think, were the two newest dolls. Which, interesting, I think it has said William a few times. Might have said Marie a few times as well, actually. I'm not sure. We'll have to look back through the word list to see how often these are coming up. Because that's what will be significant. I think Violet is the name of one of the dolls, and I think Larry is the name of one of the dolls. The other three, I'm not too sure on. I want to say one of them might be called Margaret. One of them might be called... No, I can't remember the name. I can't remember the names of them. Because there's the two main ones in the middle on the top shelf where I'm like, I can't remember their names.
Wife.
Wife? But yeah, I was going to say earlier on with it saying down and patience, I think one of the dolls, the spirit attached to it might have had Down syndrome. So, and might have been in a hospital, I think was the story behind it, potentially. So for it to have said hospital, for it to have said Down and then patients, and then, you know, I'm just like, hmm. And then for it to say kiss and wife, that's very, very similar things. Well, you know, related things, not similar, but related. Then again, that might be the saying that they're a wife, it might be saying that, you know, they're finding their wife. A lot of the words are in need of heavy interpretation. It's why it's a good thing about doing the 28 Days Out by investigating so much over a month. Yeah. Just had a look at the board, because obviously I don't pay attention to it, but when I looked at it, the letter F was in the
Green
circle
hair.
pretty perfectly. Green hair. That's interesting. But yeah, so I looked down at the planchette and it was on the word F, like perfectly. That's why you probably saw me on the night vision camera just kind of moving it back and forth, because I was trying to test to see whether or not I could have like relaxed my hand or something just to try and put it perfectly over the F. Um, but not that I can find. So with the weight I'm gonna put it down to probably just relaxing my hand or just various movements, but for it to have kind of drifted its way over to the F without me not noticing, maybe it's me subconsciously moving it, maybe it's legitimately moving. I don't know, but important thing for me to mention. I feel. Um, yes, but if you want to move the planchette, feel free to move the planchette. Interesting that said green hair, because there's a couple I watch on YouTube called the Grim Life Collective, and the other day I was very, very happy because they were, so they're from America and they did a video where they visited Alton Towers. Um,
Rules hold secrets.
Walls hold secrets. That's interesting as well. Yeah, but they visited Alton Towers, and Alton Towers